We met Sean 24 years ago. Because of Denise's jobs in large banks, we are always required to use the financial investment company that went with that bank so they can keep an eye on things. So we've been with many of the majors, several, right?
Yeah, we used Sean at first just for individual products, if you will. I think it was initially a kind of a life insurance product. And then as the years went on, it became obvious to us that Sean had more and more to offer. As someone who spent 40 years in banking, I know how the system works. And I worked with a lot of, again, wonderful people, a lot of integrity. But I also know that there's enormous amount of pressure on the financial advisors at banks, especially the big banks, which I worked for a number of them, to sell their products. And there were many times where I didn't feel that it was necessarily what was best for us, some of the recommendations we were getting. Sean continuously brought a lot of different options to us, many of which were not necessarily going to give him the largest return, but they were certainly going to give us the largest return and actually put us in a really good position as it came to diversification.
He really gets to know you. I mean, people say, I'll come up with a budget and that's going to be your basis of retirement. No. Sean has a whole couple different layers that he drills down into. He could tell you very specific things about our boys. Well, when they got engaged, when the wedding was, what my son's valedictorian speech was when he graduated from high school, because Sean came to that party. And there were times when I was in with the big firms, they didn't even know what Denise did when she worked for the same company. We became more and more disillusioned with what we were paying for at the big firms. And Sean walked in and it's like, wow, changed our whole perspective on finance. It became like finance wasn't something to be like really worried about or concerned about. He really just made it all a breeze in every way.
Sean has the two most important components of what makes a great financial advisor. First of all, I trust him. I trust him with my life. I mean, Sean, we've known him for 24 years, and we know his family, we know his wife, his kids. You have to trust your financial advisor deeply, and we deeply trust him. The second is capability, just intelligence, ability, and track record. And for 24 years, his track record has been stellar. As a result, we have benefited greatly. As I've said before, Sean always puts what we need first. He doesn't go after the thing that's going to get him the biggest buck, and the return has been significantly better. So again, capability and trust are critically important. They're hard to come by these days, and Sean has it in spades. I think the world of him.